Shut up and sit down.
Hey everyone, this is Cliff Taylor, and let's poke the bear today on having a gender-neutral child. All right, so this subject is really close to my heart because I have a gender-neutral child. I have my oldest, who goes by the name of Jeremy, is a gender-neutral child. They came out as gender non-binary. About 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. Then they decided that they wanted to not use feminine pronouns anymore, and that became, of course, an issue of, okay, we're going to start calling you by. They wanted to be called they them, and so that's what we did. There was arguments at first, and I'm not going to say that I was a perfect father and I didn't, and I just said, oh yeah, I'm totally with you, man, let's do it. No, that's not what happened at first. There were arguments back and forth, and there were a lot of, are you sure, is this a phase type of things that can happen. And I have apologized to Jeremy numerous times because of it, because had I been completely and totally open, they may have had less issues. Now, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they started wanting to be called Jeremy instead of their given name. And they said they wanted to be called Jeremy, and that their pronouns were now they, them, he, him. And I have done everything that I can to always refer to them as Jeremy and they, them. And that's what I do. And that's what I'm comfortable in doing. And I believe that as a society, we need to be able to admit that some things make us uncomfortable and other things don't make us uncomfortable. And then, see, they're angry that I wasn't as comfortable with the he, him pronouns. So that's why they're barking, I believe. But hold on one second. All right, now those dogs are outside, so maybe they will leave me alone. Okay, so back to being a parent of a gender-neutral individual. Actually, they were gender non-binary. Then they were gender neutral. Then they were gender non-binary, and now they're trans non-binary. I think that's what they're going. I think they were trans non-binary, and now they are trans. Okay, I gotta remember. I gotta get this right. So they are trans or gender non-conformist. He, him, they, them pronouns, and they are demisexual. That's their identity that they tell me. Quick correction, this is Jeremy, and Jeremy is trans, masculine presenting, gender non-binary, asexual, demi-romantic, not demisexual. Right? All right.
There's a difference between demisexual and demi-romantic. Demi-romantic means that you have to
speak up a little bit, because
Demi-romantic means that you have to form a bond with somebody before you even fall romantically in love with them. Demisexual is the same, but just until you're sexually attracted to them. Being asexual means that I do not experience sexual attraction whatsoever, and that does not mean that I'm a plant.
Okay, they are not a plant. But now back to the rest of it. I do everything that I can to make them as comfortable as I possibly can, while not being completely uncomfortable myself. Some people might say that's bad. Some people might say that's good. It's what works for me, and what works for me and what works for them is that I do everything that I can to help them and support them. And I do support them. We go out. I am all about uh, the pride stuff with them when they want to do that kind of thing. So it is, I buy them hats, I buy them shirts, I buy them, suspenders that, and I have, I've even gone so far as to when my son, my middle child, when he went in the military, we all got these T-shirts made, and mine says like proud dad, and my wife said proud mom, and then Jeremy's says proud sibling, because that's what they were comfortable with. So that's what they decided to have, and we were completely supportive with that, and that's what their shirt says, is proud sibling. And we don't have a problem with that. Jeremy appreciated that, and John was okay with that. So there's a whole dynamic of being a parent of a child that is going through this process, because this process is not flip a switch is done. This process is long and drawn out. This process is the idea of, I'm going to start exploring these. Why do I feel this way? What is different about me? There was aspects where they dated people, which was cool, and I didn't care who they were dating, other than if were they safe. That was my, as a parent, I always want to make sure that my kids are safe. Are you safe in the situation that you're in? Are you happy with the situation you're in? And that, as a parent, is, I think, what is the most important for us to do, is to make sure that our kids are feeling safe and they are being protected as to the best of our abilities. Never been a helicopter parent when it comes to them in this. I have let them do their own thing, and when they've asked for help or asked for guidance, I've given the best advice that I can. And how do I do that? I do research. I went out and I looked up about being a trans parent, being about the ideas of what non-binary was. I read these things, and be all honest with you, when I read these things, no matter which side of the fence the articles were from, they had a lot of similarities. They talked about suicide rates. They talked about things to look out for. They talked about the dangers of substance abuse as somebody's coming into their own. And, so I was watchful for those things. And, nothing like that bad happened with my kid. And that made me so happy that nothing bad happened when it had to do with those things. Today, as a parent of a non-binary trans individual, I can say that I am happy for them, and I'm sad for some things that I'm not going to get. So that's me being selfish. Oh, I'm not going to be able to have this or this with Jeremy. This isn't going to happen, and I'm going to have these experiences that I watch my other friends that have their oldest daughters. The experiences they get to have, I don't get to have those. And there was some initial regret for me there, but I've learned to accept it. The relationship that I have with my kid is stronger today than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I made a decision that I was going to be supportive. I was going to use they, them pronouns. I was going to, even when we're in the middle of an argument and I slip and I say the wrong name, I immediately correct. I correct when I'm talking to somebody in the middle of freaking nowhere and they ask me how Jeremy's dead name is doing, and I say, then use the dead name and say, oh, no, Jeremy. We call him Jeremy now. I do that. And in doing that, even though Jeremy isn't there to witness it, it strengthens my relationship with Jeremy, because I know that the reason I make those choices and I make those corrections is because I respect and I accept what they have come out and are. So I think that's about everything that I'm going to say about this today. So you guys be excellent to each other. Oh, sorry, be great with each other, and we will see you guys tomorrow.